Patrick Cook here. Hey, welcome to session number 2 of our Mastering Mandelbulb 3D Formulas. Hey, let's take a few minutes here and talk about what these formulas are. Basically, formulas, in terms of the Mandelbulb 3D application, of course, formulas are the DNA of fractal objects. The formulas are a combination of equations, math, loops, and other instructions that are encoded into a file that will instruct the Mandelbulb 3D application how to run or execute the math, the cycle, to create an on-display graphical object, which we call a Mandelbulb. Okay, so let me just get you the display the files that are associated with the Mandelbulb 3D application, and they are referred to as with the extension of M3F. M3F is in formula, and these M3F files are actually scripts that will instruct the Mandelbulb 3D application in how to run or execute in order to produce a Mandelbulb object. Now, these M3F files actually have code that have been written in the M3F. Let me see if I can show you that. Let's I don't know, let's just pick anything here. How about, let's see here, how about, all right, let's go tan H4D. I'm going to open that up in Notepad, and I'm going to show you that Notepad. Okay. Okay, there we go. So what I have here is I have a formula which is it's named underscore tan H4D dot M3F. Now, very basically now, these are the properties or parameters, and in some cases it can be referred to as options. These are the input values that will be inputted into the equations that are encoded into the M3F file. Now you'll note here that I have a section called code, and you note here that you can't read it. And the reason for that is that because this particular formula has been what's called compiled into machine code, and machine code is what the application understands, but we humans don't get to read that. All right, so we don't know what the actual composition of this particular formula is because it's encoded, and only the Mandelbulb 3D application can actually understand it when it goes to execute the formula. All right, now, all of the, let me get you back to the file, okay, to the file explorer here, okay. Get that turned on. Now, all of these M3F files that come along with the Mandelbulb 3D application, they are all encoded, like what I just showed you. All right, you can't read the actual code. All right, and you don't really need to, okay? You can get information, a description of the formula. Let me get you back over to our notepad, and you'll notice here that we have a description area. All right? Actually, it goes down even further than that. There we go. So that's the description of the formula, of this particular formula. Now, not all formulas are going to have descriptions. Most do. So if you want to understand what the formula does, you can refer to the description, which is visible from the application itself. What we're doing here is we're looking at the underlying formula code, okay, to kind of give you an idea of where all these formulas come from. All right, now let's get back over to the file browser, okay. Now, back to the file browser. This is the installation directory. I'm in a Windows environment. Mandelbulb3D application only works in a Windows environment. So so this is a folder which I've specified when I installed the Mandelbulb3D software application. And you'll note here that there is a subfolder called M3 Formulas. That is where all of the formulas have been installed, all right, which are listed up on the Mandelbulb user interface. We're going to talk about that in the next session, all right. And you'll notice here there's a lot of formulas. There's actually, if you can see this all right, there's 468 of these formulas that come along with the default installation of the Mandelbulb3D application. All right. All right. Let's pick another one here. Okay, here. How about this one? Sphere IFS.M3F. Now I'm gonna move that over, and I'm gonna open that up in Notepad and show you Notepad. All right. Now here again, here's our properties or options. Here is the code that instructs the Mandelbulb3D application how to execute. We can't read it. And here is the description, okay? All right. So that's a high level as to what these Mandelbulb formula files are. They're M3F files. 468 of them come along. And the beautiful thing about this is, and we're going to talk about this in another session down the road, is that you can go get somebody else's formula files as M3F files, bring them into the Mandelbulb application, open them, and execute them, run them. Okay? So we can do a lot. We have a lot to work with in terms of all these files that contain scripts to execute the math and to give us a lot of creativity, what we can do with Mandelbulb fractal objects. Okay, so that's enough for this session. In the next session, let's get over to the Mandelbulb user interface and give you a kind of an overview tour of how to work with these formulas. All right, so I'll see you in the next section. I'll see you there.